Thank you. My name is Jake Ellzey. As you mentioned, I'm one of the newest members of Congress. Just took office a couple of weeks ago. I'm a 20-year Navy veteran and flew H-60 helicopters, Tomcats, and Super Hornets in a 20-year Navy career. I deployed to Afghanistan in 2001 when we kicked the war off, deploying off the USS Enterprise. 2009 and 10 as a squadron commander, flying Super Hornets, and then again after I retired in 2013 as a contractor flying ISR missions out of Bagram. It's been suggested that just the fact that we have 200 helicopters and other aircraft that we've left behind, that somehow the Taliban wouldn't be capable of flying them. That's nonsense. We have enemies and adversaries throughout the world, such as China, Russia, and Iran, who are more than capable of either buying those and flying them again, or outright stealing them. Keep in mind that China and Russia have aircraft that look remarkably similar to our Generation 5 F-22 and F-35, and there's a good reason for that. Either they copied them or they stole them outright. And Iran, I might add, has been flying for the last 40 years the F-14 Tomcat, which we embargoed any parts on over 40 years ago. And there's still 35 of them flying for Iran. So keep in mind that when we leave all this equipment behind, the idea that the Taliban somehow can't utilize those, it's not true. Secondly, most of the folks behind me and myself are working very, very diligently for a crisis situation in order to get back channel extractions for our friends and allies and Americans in Afghanistan. This is not a streamlined effort on the part of the administration, and it should be noted that everybody behind me is working very, very late at night in order to help get out as many people as we can. And finally, I deployed to Bagram in 2013 and 14 as an ISR pilot. And the idea that we only have one airfield left in the entire country of Afghanistan is more than a failure. It is an outright tragedy because we have no capacity for heavy lift for all the equipment we left behind. The airport that is in Kabul is a one-runway operation. And if you put one mortar shell in the middle of that runway, it's no longer operative. Meanwhile, we gave up 28 miles to the north, as the crow flies, a military base called Bagram, which has 2 runways, which has more than twice the capacity and heavy lift capability than that in the capital city. Additionally, it's set out in the middle of nowhere and it's easily protected from force protection standpoint. If that doesn't send shivers down your spine on who gave that kind of advice, it should. We cannot stand for this anymore, and we've got less than 10% of our folks out, and we've got 1 week to go. So I suggest to you that we need to find a better means to get this out. This is a tragedy that none of us want to be standing here talking about today. None of us want to be talking about what's going on in Afghanistan, but we've got Americans we need to get out first. And for all the talk of everything else that's going on, that's our #1 priority, and those assembled behind me have insisted that that is our #1 priority from the standpoint of the people standing behind me, is to get our Americans out. Thank you.